Welcome to the world's first straight talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Adam.
How's everything in the land of solar this week?
It's been warm and lots of people still very, very interested, excited, and wanting to get solar, and lots and lots of people who have solar, and for one reason or the other, it's not working, or their monitoring is not working, or they bought a new house and nobody told them anything about the solar, and we need to step up and get it going, that's always one of my favorites. Is how do you buy a house and not ask about the solar? But that's just, I'm looking at it through my solar glasses and saying,
that's right, Jamie.
You have all these solar panels up there, and you have possibly batteries and everything, and you have no idea. Anywho, it's interesting, but this in the last couple of weeks, actually in May, California made history by becoming the first state, and one of the only states to generate more than 50% of its electricity from solar power, which is amazing. Because,
that's right. Yeah.
About 10 years ago, everyone was really, really panicked that there wasn't going to be enough energy during the summer months, and there was going to be blackouts and brownouts, and solar, it's great that it relieves all the strain on the grid. And so immediately they've reduced all the solar incentives. So it still makes sense, because the one massive incentive is PG&E rates, which at the beginning of the year, we were told no new increases for, I think it was 2 years.
What?
Yeah. And then guess what? If you use a lot of power,
no,
you're seeing the highest electricity bills you've ever seen. And if you're trying to get new service, or you're trying to add an ADU with a new meter, or you're building a new house and you need PG&E to come out, those costs have gone out of control. I would check those out before adding an ADU, because it's expensive, and those costs are really going up. But actually, just buying the power from PG&E, that's going up. But generating your own solar, your own power, just still makes a lot more sense. And the other thing that happened is that there's a new California Energy Code took effect. And so now for new construction, it's a little bit easier to, it's not really required anymore, which I'm in agreement with, because nobody knows how much solar they're going to, how much power they're going to be using until they've been in the home for a while. So we like that. And then the other weird thing that happened is, California is in the middle of this election for a new governor, and the leading candidate is Xavier Becerra, and he has declared that he wants to do a free hour of power in the middle of the day for people. And I was really confused, because I don't know what in the world he's talking about, but basically, he's saying with low-income residents, they're going to get a free 1 hour of no-cost electricity, which is...
My hand is shooting up like you wouldn't believe.
Yep. Well,
aren't they already on the CARE program?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And he's saying that this 1 hour, and he's not really naming the funding, not really naming, who's paying for this free, because people are still going to use power during that hour. And then who and why and how is that going to help? And it's not.
I have an answer, but you're not going to like it.
What is it?
Everyone else. Start with the billionaires, obviously.
He said he's going to be working he's going to work with Californians to get them to recalibrate. So he wants them to use, if you were planning to do laundry, say at 9 p.m., where the rates are lower, he wants you to be able to do it during this 1 hour of the day. And so because it's free, and that will be using that extra solar power that's out there, which is fascinating. And if you're working, you don't, you're not home during the day. That doesn't really apply to you. I'm sure you'll have refrigerator and some other things that are running. But it's an interesting. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So if anyone out there is listening to this and has a direct contact with Xavier Becerra, send them our way. We'll be able to help him streamline this out a little bit and help lower income people get solar and batteries and everything. Because that's really, because even CARE rates that you mentioned. So CARE is the low income discount that a lot of people get. And it's still pretty high. And we get people that are on CARE that want to go solar. And a lot of times, their break-even time is in the 6 to 7 years, where somebody without CARE is in the 4 to 5 years. So it still makes a huge amount of sense for them, but it's it's not as great as at least not a great payback. But that would be really nice if California could help more and more CARE people go solar. It would really help them out, and especially on the medical baseline people and the life-threatening illness people. It's
giving them cheaper power doesn't give that stick. Get smaller.
Right, and a lot of people still use a lot of power out there, but to have 1 hour when you have the other 23 hours that are, especially in those summer months, and then as people, move to electric cars, he wants them to charge their cars during the day. I don't know one car that can get charged up in an hour, but that it would kind of make sense to do that, I guess, during that time. And he's really banking that solar is going to keep on growing in California throughout the next decade. And so it's, as solar keeps growing and producing even more than 50% of the state's needs, then it's going to be even, they're going to have, what are they going to do with all this extra power? So really battery storage makes a lot more sense for the state. And then working with PG&E to, motivate people through rates that they can store more power, discharge it during peak times, and it'll make more sense for them to add battery storage by making those peak times even more expensive. But not so great. It's rough being in California with all this. All of these things don't really make a lot of sense. But it's up to you to self-navigate and self-police. And it will always be better to make your own power than to buy it from somebody else. And so it's kind of just interesting that we've really been silent on every other issue with solar power, but this was one that came out that was everyone's scratching their head saying, maybe he doesn't have a PG&E bill and doesn't really understand how this works, but kind of crazy.
I know he loves tacos. He loves the taco. I learned how to say taco, Jamie. It's not taco. It's taco. Yeah.
Wow. Now
he loves the taco. Go back and listen to him talk about food truck vendors and how important they are to the California economy.
Well,
not food truck vendors.
Yeah.
Sorry, the unlicensed food truck guys or food cart guys. Pardon me. And gals. Yeah, because they make great tacos.
Fascinating. Well, he's only leading by 50 points, so I
know. Home run.
It's going to be another rough 8 years.
What a country. Yeah. What's Schwarzenegger doing? Arnold, get back over here.
Say taco. Yeah, but so we're things are proceeding in the solar industry really well. There's new and better things that are coming out all the time, and as we're progressing through this year, we're going to see solar. California also did a first-time EV buyer incentive. So if you're buying an electric vehicle for the first time and you meet certain income requirements, you can get I think it's a $1,500 rebate on a new or used electric vehicle. So that'll be really nice for a lot of people. And, seeing tons and tons of electric cars, tons and tons of people adding ADUs and all kinds of stuff. So California is going to be using a lot more electricity, and it just makes sense to get that electricity from the big ball in the sky rather than, out of the ground or any other way, really. But it's
free from the government. Free from the government. It's like this is like a Thanksgiving turkey that's now free, right?
Well,
didn't they used to do that
for your podcast? You Politics with Adam at .com.
Hey, you brought up Sarah's. I mean, I have not heard about this initiative. It sounds interesting, and it's interesting that you, as an expert, are scratching your head about it as well.
Right, and the other funny thing is, we've talked about this many times, is all the data centers and how much power they're going to be using.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of competition for electrons. I mean, and the demand is only going to double and then double and then double again. I mean, it's
for sure. And I'm sure they would like a free hour of power. That'd be nice too. But
I'm sure
we can wrap it up there. A very exciting week in the world of solar.
First. All right. Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you to our listeners for taking a few minutes out of your week to learn a little bit more about solar. There's always something going on. Every week, Jamie proves it week after week after week. It's amazing. If you have a question for Jamie for an upcoming episode, you can go to our Facebook page, Straight Talk Solarcast. Send us a message through there. If you'd like to check out a library of our past episodes, you can go to solarharmonics.com, click on the podcast link at the top of the page, and you'll be taken to a cornucopia of episodes. It's all searchable, and it's stretching back 9 years now, maybe 10 years. It's amazing. It's also straight. There's no bias in there. So to find a resource like that for you and for your friends is priceless. So if you have a friend who is considering going solar, this would be an excellent podcast to refer them to. And finally, one small ask, we'd love a 5-star review wherever you got this podcast, because it does help grow and keep growing our podcast and reaching more people and helping more people. So that's awesome. Until next time, everyone, see you.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com, and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.